Welcome everyone to this week's Christmas Roundtable. It's a special edition, and I'm really happy to be able to be surrounded by so many great team members, and of course, really happy to see so many of you in the chat. And yeah, basically, we're gonna be talking about our journeys as traders, our year. We can answer any of your questions as long as they are decent and non-crypto related. And yeah, we're gonna be celebrating this amazing year that was for Chroma. We grew a lot over the course of this year. When I try to remember where we were at the beginning of the year, it feels so far back, and you guys were part of the journey. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for participating today. And yeah, just like I said, if you have any questions at any point in time, just feel free to type in the chat. I'm gonna be looking over and um, oh yeah, just like Rafael also mentioned, 230 members to 700 plus. So why don't you start for us in, let's say, talking a little bit about the highlights of Chroma this year? Of course, had two mergers, grew a lot. What did you enjoy most about working in Chroma this year besides staying up until 4 a.m. writing educational content?
So what's does this count as crypto? This doesn't count as crypto talking about Chroma. We're gonna
No,
keep it
talking about, yeah, it's not about crypto. It's about your baby, Chroma. It's about your kid. It's family business.
family business. I thought this was gonna be like, what's the your sporting highlight of the year or something like that.
And we're gonna be talking
Well,
about everything.
that's fine. No, I'm happy to talk about this. That might be the problem is me talking about this too much. I guess highlights. Yeah, like the two mergers were great. I think bringing Osbra and Luke into the team from their respective communities and kind of merging their communities into ours has obviously been an incredible high point in the server and just like a high point in the business and in the community. Like kind of doing something to such an extent that people see it and people want to be part of it, and then bringing people in and that merge being successful. There's so many moving parts to each of those, particularly the Toros one, which Luke probably knows more than others. There was lots of balls in the air for each one, lots of moving parts, and yeah, it was a fantastic feeling of achievement once we kind of got both of those over the line. And I think, yeah, it's a testament to the communities that both of those guys built. That we not only was it such a hopefully a value add for their members and for them indeed, but it was also it was a huge value add for us bringing those guys into the community. And even now, we see a lot of the ex CRG, former CRG members and former Toros members have been, contributing a ton in the server, and kind of adding value in their own way. So those were definitely highlights. I think the team meetup was a lot of fun. Obviously meeting guys IRL, some for the first time, some for the second or third time. Purdue I've met too many times now. It's like coming on what, 4 or 5. It's getting a bit repetitive, but he's a nice guy, so we kind of make it work when it happens. That's always a plus. Like jokes aside, when you work in an online industry, um, you're dealing with anonymous profile pictures every day. There's a little bit of a disconnect, kind of from the humanity of it sometimes. So it's very nice to meet people and just talk. I guess like in a room IRL rather than typing messages in Discord. So that was a huge plus and a lot of fun just kind of unwinding with the team in Santander. Those are probably the main highlights. I mean, I'm sure there are others that'll come to me. Like just even just growing the server. Like obviously, I mean, it's no secret to everyone on this call that we faced a bit of adversity in January. We had a long time a team member leave. And that kind of, I think that was in hindsight, I mean, at the time, it was obviously not ideal and something that, I wasn't happy that it happened. But in hindsight, I mean, it was actually a huge positive to this server because it kind of forced us to look at what we were doing and say, okay, well, can we do it better? Are there things that we're doing that we're missing? Are there things that we're doing we could be doing better? How do we improve the value that members are getting from the price that they're paying for their subscriptions. And I think like that really changed how we approached Chroma. I think last year, like I think in 2023 and 2024, Chroma was very it was kind of just a bunch of mates like just chilling, and it was a little bit, I don't know. I won't say disorganized, because I mean we were pretty organized, but I think we really took that up to the next level this year. Like if you look at kind of the advancements that we made with the trade tracker, kind of how we've professionalized the service that we offer, and like the ongoing work to the education syllabus, which I was hoping, sometime in the year, sometime earlier in the year, I was hoping it would be done by Q4, but it's looking like Q1 now, which is totally fine because it's so broad. But I mean, like, I think there's been and that growth was reflected in the survey. We ran from 200 members to 600 plus or 700 plus, whatever it was at the peak of top back in July, August. I think like that is kind of been reflected in or that's kind of shown in kind of how we've evolved and how we've grown as a server, which is like, that's always really gratifying to see, and really happy, makes me really happy to see that. So yeah, I guess those are the highlights. The merge, the meetup, and yeah, just the general growth and professionalism and kind of evolution of the server over the last 12 months.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I'm, like I said, really happy to be part of the process and contribute to it. And yeah, some of the guys are, like you mentioned, new on the team. Osbrat, team Luke. Some guys have been on the team longer than I have been, and that guy is John Z. And I'll gladly hand over the mic to him, let him talk about his accomplishments and biggest highlights of the year. It can be personal, it can be crypto related stuff. What made you the happiest this year?
Um, yeah, thanks, Victor. So I guess for me, if we're thinking about like Chroma and stuff, I would say like I've had a pretty solid year ROI. Well, yeah, definitely growing the beard. Um, but I've kind of started to dial back my system over the last couple months. Slightly less R, but better trade quality. And like even this past month, December, I had like a 50% win rate, which would have been unheard of like half a year ago. So definitely noticing improvement in that and my growth as an analyst, and hopefully someone who can provide educational value to our members and in the weekly mentorship class and the one-on-ones. So it's been very fulfilling. Like for me as also a teacher, I get a lot of fulfillment out of like helping others. So at the end of the day, seeing people really grow in Chroma, and also my students in the classroom, it's just been very joyful year. A lot of good time with friends and family, and ultimately, I'm just looking forward to 2026. Unfortunately, my fiance is going to be gone for most of that year, like 8 months. But that low key will just give me more time to grind in Chroma, probably do some stuff in the Asia sessions, maybe some more streams at night. But yeah, I'm super excited to keep on pushing. I know, like Victor said, I've been around for a while, but it's been awesome seeing like all these other people join the team and like growing with them as team members and working alongside them. And it's just been awesome getting to meet everyone, hopefully in person someday. But yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much
that's
it. And then,
something
mhm.
I want to say that that's something that we absolutely have to do next year. It's on my list, my to do list for next year. Meet Jones IRL.
Yeah, for sure. It just unfortunately hasn't lined up for me with work, but we'll definitely
I
get
mean,
there
it's
one
your
day.
fault for living across the ocean.
Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, I think all in all, it's been a really great year. I just spent a lot of time with my dog. I'm in the process of finishing up this tattoo sleeve, so like a lot of fun personal accomplishments and good vibes. But I think, yeah, I'm just grateful to still be here working alongside this team and excited for what's to come.
So the main words would be good vibes and progress, right? Exactly. And speaking about good vibes, I wanna hear from someone that always brings good vibes in the server and IRL. Perdo, how are you doing?
Vibes only. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, yeah, it has been a pleasure for me working alongside all of you this year. Portfolio, like the best things this year were, of course, like the small all seasons we had, where I thrive the most. Yeah, meeting you all in some of you in Singapore was really nice. The team meetup was super nice as well. Like early in the year, um, when we had the good markets, that was for me, yeah, really, yeah, we were really thriving. Of course, I had some setbacks as well with the 1010 being the latest one. That was a pretty big step back for me. But for now, with my hedge fund, I made some new good clients. So overall, I'm not really in a bad place at the moment. So that's nice, and I'm looking forward to January, where price action probably picks up again. And yeah, it always feels like a fresh start in when you go into the 1st of January, and that's really what I'm really excited about. I'm
Yeah,
usually not
new
really a Christmas type of person, so I'm really happy when the 1st of January hits.
yeah, new year, new
New
markets.
year, new me.
New year, New York. That's uh, yeah, that's something that everyone says. Um, Next to you on the panel, at least on my screen, is one of the guys that have that you guys have probably seen the least, but he is a really essential part of Chroma because without him, I don't even know how some of the things in the server would work. And you can see his big bald head in there, Access. He is the guy responsible for all or most of the bots that you see in the server. He's responsible for the trade tracker. He is responsible for so many things that, like I said, I think the server would go kaput if he would decide to just leave us hanging for one day. So, Access, get let's help the people get to know you better. What are you basically doing for Chroma, and what have been the best things that you achieved this year? Like I said, personal matters, Chroma, everything.
Uh, First of all, I'm coughing as hell, so sorry for that. I think on a personal note, I think last week was a really good one for me. You all saw me manage to get some good results there. Over the year, I think one of the biggest things we did was bringing the membership bot to where it is right now. I mean, it basically when I was tasked to build something like this, I had no zero experience in building something like that, and it basically all I was handed as information like this is what it does, this is what it should do, go figure it out. But I knew I was up to the task because I of course also already built the tracker, and that was something that I joined Follis on stream. I think in now almost 3 years ago on Twitch, and I kind of approached him like, "Hey, I have this idea. I want to be in this space, but I don't have time to be 24/7 online and monitor everything." And so I thought by myself, isn't there a system possible that can do that for you? That people who have knowledge enter those trades for you, and you get notified and pinged when something happens and when you should act. And of course, it was as a very premature stage back then. But yeah, look at where it is now. I think I must say we of course Chroma is not a signal service. Not I want to emphasize that, but it does help some people who have a full-time job and yeah, pick up stuff by not monitoring the server 24/7. I have the luck that I'm in a job position where I can be online 24/7 almost, so that makes it easier. Yeah, so yeah, 2026 is also going to bring a lot of stuff, but for sure we're going to hear and speak a lot about that either today or in the coming days.
Yeah, yeah, precisely. So yeah, just to make people understand again how important you build a trade tracker, which, like I said, even though we're not a selling service, it helps with accountability, with transparency, and with everything. You've built the membership bot, which allows people to pay with crypto, which is another huge thing, and 1,000 other small things. So big props to this guy, and he's as important to Chroma as any single one of us that are here on the panel, and let's say more in front of you guys. And I really had the pleasure to meet him for the second time this year, and I even trusted him to drive me around. So
I
he's
was
a
his Uber
trustworthy one.
driver.
Yeah, exactly. And
And
with
that's
me,
if I may add, that's also the difficult thing for me of those in real life meetings, you always talk about, what we talk about here and online. And so by having those meetings really makes you get to know each other and the family members behind the persons and that kind of stuff. And that really helps. And also creating a bond and for me, being part of something like we are here today is really, yeah, it's really helped me also in my professional career to, to radiate to other people what you do, how you do it, and become more professional in a sense.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And we have one more guy that has been on the team for more than 1 year, and he was also with me in you in the car. And I know that he enjoyed a lot of parties this year. So Jay, how has your year been when
It's
looking
been
at
good.
everything?
Look at it. Personal life, it's been amazing. I mean, I finally moved houses after like 4 years of being stuck. And yeah, I started partying a lot again. Kind of, I lost that vibe on me and kind of came back, which is good. Came back from one on Saturday. I'm sick as hell. Joining Access. If I cough, I'm sorry. But yeah, overall thankful. It's just been a great year on the server. It's been a great year meeting new people. Was a great meeting the guys. Personal trading, I think I had a very good half year, a very bad half year personally, which I don't, I have to attack it again. There's no way around it. But as always, I guess we're all transparent. Wasn't good for half, was good for half, which is okay for me. And yeah, personally, for me, it's just keep the good vibes, keep everything good on the server, try to keep everyone friendly when it kind of strays away. Even though we don't moderate a lot, we try to just keep it on good standings. And yeah, get back to trading. New year. It's been 2 years since I joined Chroma now. It's going to make like 2 years in 1 week. I mean, not joined Chroma, but joined the Chroma team. Was in January of 24. Yeah, it's just been a pleasure, honestly. Getting to know people. Honestly, I've gotten to know people I wouldn't have a chance to, and that's all thankful to Chroma. Yeah, not going to extend it a lot. We got a lot to talk about. So thank you, everyone, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Go rave a bit. It's good for your soul.
Yeah, we're gonna trust you on that. I'm not personally big into raves, so you can go and rave for me as well.
I only got like
Um,
5 booked for 2026.
Only 5. Well, you're slacking, so definitely book some more. Um, yeah, this year was, like I mentioned, amazing for me as well. Of course, my highlight, at least in this space for me, has been like Followers mentioned, the Chroma meetup, because I got to meet a lot of you guys, and I've been convinced that it was a reassurance for me that this team is full of great people, and and it's something that I mentioned during a toast in the last night of the Chroma meetup, that I'm really grateful for not waking up and hating my coworkers. And something else that I really enjoyed was meeting a lot of new people, IRL and in the server. And we have got 3 new analysts this year, Osbra, Luke, and Tim. And I want to hear from them as well, because they started the year in another place and they're ending the year in Chroma. So Osbra, how has your journey this year? How has it been, and what did you enjoy or hate about it? Because maybe you hate something about it too. I don't know.
Oh, a lot of things. Not related to Chroma, of course. Um, no, it was a very good year overall. Challenging, of course. At least on my end, because you guys all know we merged CRG into Chroma, so that was a leap for me. But I have absolutely no regrets. I'm happy overall that I joined such I would say a structure, because I don't see Chroma just a regular Discord group. I see it as a real structure with co-workers, as you said, colleagues, but also like becoming like building relations with some of you guys. That's great. Like we've played some offline games with Vic at like midnight or something.
Past
That's really
midnight.
good. Yeah, I had the chance to meet Fortis a couple of times. outside of the Santander meetup. I'm gonna meet Jay as well next month. Vic again. So yeah, that's really good. Hopefully, I'm going to go back to Amsterdam soon, so I can also meet Purdue. So that's
Yes.
overall very happy about the choice that has been made. And I'm also something I noticed, and that I think is amazing is the server is constantly changing, constantly moving, because we're constantly looking for improvement, especially and I just see the chat and I just want to delete everything that I just said. You guys are a bunch of assholes. I don't like you. And like Vic, every time I wake up, I hate my coworkers. That's
I said I don't hate them, and that's what I'm grateful for. You're the yang to my yin, Eden.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Oh,
just
it was,
jokes
I
aside,
had to.
jokes aside, very happy. The only downside I would say is that it's not related to Chroma. It's the market, because obviously our job is tied to the market, and and when the market is not fun, sometimes the job is not as fun as it could be. But yeah, not life cannot be fun all the time. Huh, Jay? Wink, wink. But yeah, life cannot be a 24/7 super fun. So we have to deal with it. But it's great to see the commitment from the team to make things look great, even when the market is in such terrible conditions. So congratulations to everyone for that. That's very good thing that you can be proud of, because if you look at all the Discord groups, some are completely dead with these conditions, and it's been the case since maybe September, October. So congrats to Chroma for that. And yeah, looking forward to 2026 to improve personally as a trader, but also as someone that is part of such a structure. So yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to see where we're gonna bring Chroma, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on the right spot. So yeah, not gonna hold the mic for too long. I don't know who I'm gonna pass the mic to, but yeah,
To
please
me,
go
because
ahead.
I'm.
Thank you, Excess.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words, and I'm really happy you're enjoying Chroma. So I'm gonna give it over to the other head of a Discord server that merged with Chroma. Luke, how has your journey in Chroma been so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty crazy year for me overall. So the merger itself, I'm like so happy with. One of the big things that's been an issue for me over the last year, I've just because I haven't been around, like I've been running the Taurus server for a few years, and after going traveling and just not having structure in place, not having routine in place anymore, it just, like I've said this before, it became like very apparent that that I wasn't like running it like I should be. The community wasn't really there anymore. So for me to join, as Osbra said, somewhere that has a great community, great structure in place, has been, yeah, it's been fantastic. I've mentioned again in my channel that I believe I've improved as a trader as well. I think the trade tracker is a really great feature, not only for the members but also for us as team members, because we have to be so accountable for the trades that we're taking, knowing that others are going to be following it, knowing that everything is tracked. It's improved my trading, as well as hopefully being able to share those ideas and those trades with other people. And yeah, it's been great, like getting to know you guys. I haven't met any of you IRL yet. I joined a little bit late for the official meetup, but I know I'm sure I'll be meeting you guys next year. I'm going to be heading back out to Asia again after Christmas. So yeah, as from a personal note, it's been a pretty crazy year. Lots of ups and downs. Traveled a lot. Like Jay, I've partied a lot also. And I've been exploring some things outside of trading as well. It's been the first time in 5 years that I've done anything other than just trading. So I
Yeah, when I was when I was in Bali, I took on the role of being like a social like guy, a social rep, and just having to really step into that. I was there. I was supposed to be there for 1 month. I ended up being there for 2 months. I went out 57 nights out of 61 that I was there, like actually going out with big groups of people. So I've definitely had my fair share of partying, and that was that was pretty crazy. But I think also a lot of like stuff going on in personal life that hasn't been so good. And then part of this year has been like finding purpose from like a new purpose for myself, leaving the UK, leaving the structure and the routine that I had here, leaving people behind, and finding new purpose. I think being in Chroma now is given me a new purpose, and starting to build kind of a base over in Asia again. So yeah, everything's looking really good for 2026. I'm very excited for it. I think I'm going into it in a really good place with my trading. Um, and I'm very happy to be here, happy to be on this call. And I don't really know what else to say. So I'll
That's great.
pass it on to whoever's next.
That's great. Thank you. So now moving on to the last but not least, and also our last member to join the team. I don't even know how to word that, but Tim, how was your year?
Happy holidays, everyone. So my year was a mixed bag, of course. A lot going on as far as changing Discord servers, being very busy in real life, ups and downs in my personal life with my wife. A lot of crazy stuff happened this year, but overall, I would say it was a very good year. Challenging, of course, in some aspects, but that's how we grow. So, no complaints, only growth. I was in CRG to start the year with Osbro. It was a really great server. We had a lot of fun in there, some great members, but overall, I got really busy in my personal life, and I had to kind of step away from that role, and as I did, Follis invited me with open arms to join up as just to hang out in Chroma, and when I joined, I just loved it so much. I just couldn't help but be active, really. I built a house on some land that I had been clearing for years. Finally finishing up on that. I've still been busy with that up to now. Spot trading was amazing for me. Spot trading made my entire year. I had a amazing Ethereum spot bag that I'd been building from 2020 to 2021. I was buying like $200 in this bag, and I sold it almost perfectly at the top, around 5K. Couldn't really beat that. And hype, I was buying it from 18 to 20, sold the top for it. Perp trades, it's been hit or miss. Q1 for me was pretty okay. Q2 not so good. Q3 was good, and Q4 has been kind of bad. But that's what you get with trading and how the market conditions can change from day to day. So no real complaints, no money lost, just not as good as it could have been. I plan on going into 2026 and really hitting it hard with you guys. It seems like everybody here is on the same page as far as that goes. Everybody has amazing ideas, and the growth in Chroma is just, it's just unparalleled as far as I've ever seen in the trading community. So I'm excited to be a part of Chroma for 2026, and what I see behind the scenes, it seems it's going to be pretty amazing. So looking forward to it with you guys.
I'm sure it will be amazing. And while you were speaking, we got invaded by two French people, which I'm really glad that they joined us, not only on the stage but also in the team this year. And it's BitPay and Rouge. So let's start with Rouge because he's been on the team for a longer time. Rouge, just give me a few quick words about how your year has been, trading and non-trading related.
It has been, first of all, hello everyone. Second of all, it has been a roller coaster. Yeah. Most of you from the team, you guys know my story. So basically, I started trading seriously in November 24, joined as a talent in January 25, completely smashed the records at MCF over the course of 6 months, and got offered a spot as a contributor starting in summer 25. And now I am working a lot more behind the scenes with Follies for Chroma as a whole since last month, revamping the education section, trying to focus on the growth of the knowledge of our community, pushing knowledge into order flow specifically. As for trading, it has been such a roller coaster. You know, I started as an unprofitable trader. Basically, I tried to, if I have to summarize my story, when I joined Chroma, I was down significantly, like maybe 20,000 or something with the initial balance. And I tried to, like many people, copy my way into profitability. It didn't end well because I didn't manage my risk accordingly, and I added another 35,000 of loss on top of the 20k, so I was minus 55 to begin the year with. And well, fast forward in June, I made 80k in payouts, climbed back the ladder, and I just completed a personal challenge today where I started a somewhat degen account with 50,000, and I just flipped it to 100k in 7 days. I have the full history shared in the crypto chat. Roller coaster. I went from full on unable to trade properly to actually being consistent and understanding what I needed to implement in order to become successful. I kind of take myself as an example in terms of from how far you can start to how far you can go with only one thing. And if I have to emphasize on one element, it's not technical analysis, it's psychology. It's purely psychology. Trading is a psychological war, and it's not a war with the market, it's a war with yourself. 99% of the time, you are the one sabotaging yourself. It's not the market. You are taking the wrong decisions and clicking on the wrong buttons, be it closing early, closing late, sticking to your dreams, being married to a position, whatever. And it cost me a lot to learn that. And I'm trying my hardest to share my experience with the community so that people in Chroma avoid all the mistakes that were costly to me and have an easier time that I had, because unfortunately I had to pay to learn, and I'm hoping a lot of you do not pay that price because it was a hefty price. I had a blast the first 6 months with trading, and the summer with if I have to take the same approach as Tim, the summer was kind of meh. September, October was okay. October was my best month so far. I cannot believe when I look at my journal, I have like literally 31 days in the green. I didn't close a single day in the red. I started with a balance of 25,000 in October because I reset my accounts every month, and I ended up with 84,000, I think. So yeah, it was
Your year has
like
been
a hefty month.
has
But
been
in
great.
November, I got destroyed. In November. I got destroyed. I lost like 30,000, something like that in November. I didn't share most of my positions because, well, it's I prefer keeping my losses with myself. But I got destroyed in November. But now in December, it's back to being okay. somehow. And I'm hoping 2026 we will see less silly price action and more quality PA like we used to have. Now it's just a bit messy since the 10th of October. It's just messy to begin with.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
overall,
that's
your
it.
year has been a great journey of development, and I'm really happy to have seen you go from where you were when you first DM me in last August about one of
Yeah,
my
you
BTC
remember that.
trades, and I will always remember it because you're actually one of the few people that listened to me when I told them, please do not copy trade, start learning, and then you told me, oh, I don't have time to start learning, I'm just here to copy trade, but then you eventually listen and look where you are right now. So congratulations to you. And going to another guy that has had a really great journey, who I've also met in DMs, and I had the pleasure to have a one-on-one with, and is now a team member. BitBay, you had an amazing year, at least from my perspective. So why don't you share your experience with us?
Yeah, just before that, do you have any efficient way like to erase the memory? Because I saw some difficult pictures to deal with in in the chat. No, anyway,
No, I
yeah.
don't have.
Okay, then I guess my memory is forever altered. Anyway, yeah, I started trading this year actually in February, last February. I started to be interested in trading because, well, I was in crypto since 2021, and I was the perfect pigeon, like we say in French, the guy who'll just like be the exit liquidity. I got some beginner's luck, but obviously I lost everything with stupid decisions. And after some time, I decided to stop being complacent and learn trading. So, yeah, 2 months after trying to learn on my own, I found, I think that was the New York setup, New York reversal setup system that I really liked from Folies, and I started to dig a little bit more, and I just went into that Discord server, and kind of similar to Rouge actually. My goal was to get better at trading, but I wanted to cheat it a little bit and just follow trades here and like well, I can learn trading and I can make money while learning at the same time. Great. Yeah, the truth is like my risk management wasn't that great. And more importantly, I think that was the psychological barrier. That was the hardest to get it right. Like I realized that yeah, you can follow people's trade, but like if you cannot have the psychology to be in drawdown like them, you're just gonna close your trade while well the trade will have been a winner, right? And you lose money instead, and that happened a lot basically. So yeah, I learned all of that, and now I'm here as a talent. I'm really happy to help students get better at trading as well, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's been a pleasure here with everyone, of course. Vic, I'm still waiting for you to play TFT. You're too busy right now, so maybe I
Yeah,
can coach you on that.
yeah, I
And
am.
one of my RMs from time to time. I know there are some League of Legends player there.
Yeah,
We're waiting for
definitely.
Vic to trade order flow now.
Yeah,
True, that's true.
that's on my list for next year. But we're gonna talk about our goals for next year in a minute. But since you two already started about your journeys as traders, your journey in Chroma, that's something that I'm sure that a lot of our members in the audience will be very interesting to hear about. I think all of us have discussed this in a place or another, but I think it will be nice to hear again how each one of us started their trading journeys in a quick few words, and then how they joined Chroma. So what better person to start with than the guy that started Chroma? So just a quick recap, Follis, of how you started trading and actually why you started Chroma. What was the click that made you say the space needs something like this?
Sorry, I've been absolutely firing out the memes in the chat.
Yeah, I saw.
I wasn't expecting the question to come my way. Sorry, will you repeat that? I thought this was going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Rouge.
yeah. Nah, Rouge has already blessed us with his posh French accent. Now, the question was just a quick recap of how you started trading and why you started Chroma. What did you see in the space that made you think, this space needs something like this?
Yeah, so I do have an answer for this because when I started trading, I and most people know this. Anyone who's watched any of my streams and has asked a similar question will know this. I spent the first year trading, not knowing what I was doing, spending a lot of time and effort going down different pathways that ultimately amounted to nothing. Now, I'm not saying that time was time wasted, but it definitely wasn't the most efficient use of my time, particularly in that initial year. I think where it's quite important to try and maximize the efforts that you're putting into to improving. Like I was, 1 week I would be doing like GAN theory, and the next week I would be doing Elliott wave theory, and then the next week I'd be I tried all these different things, and eventually what stuck with me was watching a stream from Trader Main where he was doing price action trading, and he was talking about order blocks, and he was talking about inefficiencies, and he was talking about liquidity sweeps, and I was like, holy shit, this thing makes sense to me. And I really liked it, and I started looking more and more into it. But the real progress, I guess, that was around September that happened. September of my first year trading. I started trading in January, so that's like 9 months on. And it was probably around November, December, end of that year that I got invited into a Discord server completely separate to Chroma. This is a Discord server of just a few friends. And I was by far and away the worst trader in there. I got invited by a guy who just saw me on Twitter and liked my charts. And it's so funny how those small moments can have ripple effects on the rest of your life. But literally, like, I got invited by that guy into this server, and all of a sudden I was surrounded by these guys that I actually followed a lot of them on Twitter, like guys that you probably don't even remember, like Trader Fractal, FMG Stacker, Trader Payne. Like none of those guys are active on Twitter anymore, which is kind of hilarious. Like Pat from Wealth Group was in there. A bunch of guys like MGV, my old business partner, was in there. So there was a bunch of guys in there that I eventually became friends with. But they were all like price action traders, and they all knew what they were doing. And I was able to ask them a bunch of questions. And through asking questions and from starting at the bottom and kind of working my way up and being like, hey, why did you draw those lines there? Hey, why are you looking for a liquidity sweep there? Hey, why is that a valid break of structure? Asking all these questions and kind of progressing. Man, I went from like that initial 9 months, I made no progress. And in the following like 6 months, I went from effectively not knowing what I was doing to being like almost a profitable trader or getting to the point where I was maybe profitable, but not regularly profitable, not consistently profitable. And that was kind of the impetus behind starting something like Chroma. I was like, fuck, wouldn't it be such a nice resource to have that ability to join something and to be able to ask a bunch of guys questions, to be able to progress as quickly as I did in those 6 months, and just to have a little bit of direction when you're trying to learn the ropes, and just guys that you can bounce ideas off. Like, I think there's a huge amount to say for that. Like, trading has this reputation as being because everyone trades their own books, right? And I understand that. And trading has this reputation as being, it's for lone wolves. Everyone's out on their own. But actually, in my experience, I found the truth to be very completely the opposite, effectively, because a lot of the time it is a lonely profession. But in terms of progression, there is nothing more EV plus than finding a group of friends, a group of mentors, whatever it is, a group of colleagues that you can bounce ideas off, that you can ask questions, that you can get feedback, that you can see where you're going right and what you're getting wrong. I think that is hugely beneficial to traders of all levels, and that was kind of how it got started. I mean, like, Chroma has grown way beyond that initial remit, but that was the genesis of it. That was the seed that kind of sprouted into a tree. That was the first idea. Now, in the 3 years since then, or 3.5 years now, it's grown legs and it's kind of evolved into its own thing. But that was the kernel. That was the initial seed that got planted, was the idea of just creating a community where you could bounce ideas off one another. And I mean, there are other communities out there. I'm not saying that I came up with that idea, but I wanted to do something like that, and I wanted to do it better than anyone else had done to date. So that was kind of it at the start.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I'm really glad that you did indeed make the decision to start Chroma, because my journey has been pretty similar to yours, in the sense that I started trading crypto, and then for like the first 7, 8, 9 months I made roughly no progress, and then one day I remember that I had an exam that I didn't want to study for. So I opened my Twitter and I saw that you were live on Twitch, and I said, "Hey, yeah, let's join and see what this guy is about," because I knew that you were posting some good educational content. And yeah, from that point onwards, it was just an easier road for me, because I had all the resources that Chroma was offering to become a better trader, and now I'm just trying to give back the same thing to everyone else. And from the moment that I joined to now, it's only you and Jonesy that are still on the team. So I want to ask him about how he started trading and how he came to join Chroma, because I already know how the other people joined Chroma, because I was there to witness it. But Jonesy was already here, so please enlighten us.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll keep it brief because I've done this a couple times in the past, in other forums. But ultimately, like, I got into trading back right after COVID happened. I was working just like a regular college job, and I was looking for other ways to make money while I was kind of just stuck at home. And I started getting into trading, went down that whole rabbit hole, lost a bunch of money along the way. And then I started going live on X, sharing trade setups, and that's kind of how I blew up a little bit on X with gaining a small following. And from there, I started discovering different like CT accounts, and I was looking around, and I saw Follis, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's some cool looking charts, like very aesthetically pleasing." Starting messaging him a little bit, and then like I was already interested in Chroma when I saw that he was coming out with it as a community. But then he hit me up with an invite to join just as like a member, see what it was about. I did that, grinded my butt off as a member, just sharing stuff in chat, super active, and then eventually got asked to be put on the talent team. Did that same sort of thing for a couple months, and then from there, I've just been an analyst and having a really good time. Yeah.
That's lovely to hear. I think for many people, the journey started in COVID, when we were bored. I actually started with stocks trading back then, and then I saw Dogecoin that I invested $100 in do a 9x in 3 weeks, and I said, yeah, that's the place to make money. It's crypto. And then I found out that it's not actually the case. You have to work your ass off, just like you said. And yeah, it's been a journey ever since. Um, Actually, I want to hear next from Luke how he started trading, because we already had some podcasts with Osbra and Purdue and told us about that. I'm going to come back to you guys, don't worry. But I haven't heard from Luke yet. How did you start your trading journey?
Yeah. So I got into trading initially. Well, I got into crypto 2017. So bought my first bit of Ethereum, my first bit of Bitcoin. Mainly was just interested in it for the tech, like a lot of people that get into crypto, especially around that time, because I think that cycle in particular was much more about the tech rather than trading. Like perps didn't exist back then. It was like you were just trading spot. It was only at the end of that cycle that BitMEX started to become a thing, and you could start trading perps and stuff. So yeah, for me it was more just like interested in crypto, interested in altcoins, started trying to trade it. Spent a few years just really getting like learning as much as I could about the industry and about trading. And then I did quite well on the first cycle. It was just buy and hold spot, everything just flew. Did okay from it, and managed to get a house, which was quite nice. Out of that, so moved into a house with my ex. Then yeah, the next few years really, I just wasn't really trading so much. I like was working on other things. I was working in the music industry at the time as a producer, sound engineer, so I was constantly out traveling, working on music, and wasn't really doing so much trading then, but still had an interest in it. Whenever I had free time, I would still trade. And then really I started getting back into it maybe like 6 months before COVID happened. I had some downtime. It was we'd just done the summer. I'd just come back from America on tour in the US, and I had some money to spend from going out on tour for a couple of months, and started learning a lot more about trading then. This was when perps was a little bit more of a thing then, so started getting into that a lot more, started getting into order flow. And it was around the same time then obviously COVID happened. I lost a load when COVID happened, and then like at that stage I was like, right, okay, I've got to make this work now, because the music industry had shut down. I didn't have any work anymore, so I had to make it work somehow. That was the only thing that I could do. So yeah, just really started learning as much as I could, got really interested in order flow, and I was at the time part of another community that was just starting to get interested in it then as well. And then because I had a little recording studio set up and things like this, I started thinking, okay, I can make some content on this. And yeah, just really, I think I was one of the first people really to start making like educational content on things like footprint charts and CVD, open interest, all of this kind of thing. This was when ExoCharts was brand new, so I was working with them, helping to build the platform, and we really didn't have many like order flow platforms or anything like that were available. Fast forward on from that, like started making some educational content, then grew the community, Toros as a community, and really the same reason as Follis. I wanted somewhere where other people could just learn what I learned, and there'd be a community, and it'd be like good vibes, and everyone just kind of helping each other out. Because that cycle in particular was really, really tough on a lot of people. People had nothing to fall back on. Like people were incredibly down because this was again COVID times. They were just stuck at home. They had nothing else to do. So to actually build a community online around then was just an incredible thing, because it was the way not only that people would learn, but it was the only way that people could socialize back then as well. So yeah, I was running Toros for a few years. How I got into, well, I became profitable like 2021 as well, and yeah, just been kind of trading ever since. My first time, I'm not making much sense here. I don't know. Just going off in different tangents. I think of one thing and then I'm like, yeah, there. When it comes to Chroma, I remember the first conversation I actually had with Follis, and he sent me a DM on Twitter, and he was like, I've seen some of your videos or streams and stuff. I'm thinking of doing some streaming and some video content myself. So I think it took us about 4 months to actually get around to having a call from the first DM. But this was just when Follis was like starting out, like doing the streaming, doing the trading. And then I'd just been, I guess, a distant admirer of the work that he's been doing, and Chroma as well. Even when I was running Taurus, I thought that in terms of yeah, that's the very first DM. That was like March 2022. But yeah, always just there'd been a couple of times, like for myself, like running another community, I'd check in and see what Chroma was doing, what they were doing well, and I just thought it was always had the same values, like really trying to help people, and had the same kind of vibe that I wanted, just like a friendly community, everyone having fun. I think that's an important thing. It's not too serious in here. Everyone has fun. So yeah, for me, with Toros and not having the time to do everything there, I think it was a no-brainer really to approach Follis, to approach you guys, and to be like, hey, let's I saw that the CRG merge and the success that had. I was like, well, these guys are clearly doing like stuff really well, and this is the kind of community that I want for myself, and I want to be a part of. So yeah, that's why I approached Follis earlier on this year to do for the merger, and I think it's been really good. Yeah. So what else? I think that's just again,
enough that
like
we learn more
go back
about
to
you
being
and
very happy
that's
to be here, and but
yeah,
that's a little bit about me in
that's
the
great.
background. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great because we, of course, had you for a few months now, but maybe we didn't really have the chance to chat more about yourself. And that's great to hear how you started out and what ups and downs you navigated through in your journey. And someone else that personally, I don't know how he started trading, so I'm curious about that. Tim, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story?
I come from the same class as Follis and Jonesy. I started really, I started really trading in around the COVID crash. I'd bought some stocks and I'd been trading some stocks, but not really like I trade now. I was just buying stocks and holding them from like 2015. But I didn't really get into trading like in the sense of how I trade now until the COVID crash. And I'd had my eye on Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP, all the older coins for a while, but I'd never really like bought them or knew much about them. And when COVID crashed, I mean, I was just like, all right, I'll just snag some. So I snagged a pretty nice sized bag of Bitcoin and Ethereum then, and I held a lot of it until now. I sold some, but overall, that really got me into it. Like I learned like how volatile and how fast price can just go up in crypto, and it was just a completely different world than what I was used to when it came to buying stocks and retirement investment, all that. And that really just got me hooked. And when everything crashed the following year, I was like, oh, whoa, man, this goes both ways here, So I learned how to. That's when I decided that I needed to learn how to figure out when price was going to go the other direction too. So that's when I really like dug in and joined discords and really tried to figure out how and why price was doing what it was doing. I was already active before on X, but just not like in the same capacity that I am today. Around 2021 is when I really started diving into that. I remember Follis when he was coming up. Actually, I joined Chroma and was just hanging out like one of the boys early on. Um, but our paths kind of diverged, and I got asked to be a part of other discords, and and such is life. Here I am again. My evolution throughout then was really just a series of me absorbing all the information that I could from bigger accounts. Like Follis said, I learned a lot from Trader Main, ICT, um, some of the guys in Walsh Wealth Group early on. Rob Woods, I learned supply and demand from him.
From Perma Bears, not the guy. That's where I saw you first, Tim. I think was it.
Actually, I was a part of that Discord, but I was just a member, and I just posted my charts in there. And he asked me to have a corner. Like I was never paid or anything like that. I just posted. I was like a contributor there as well.
I think that's the first time I saw you. That was probably like early 2022, maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's around the time that I was trading more like low time frames, like very stressful time frames. I was like trading like 20, 30 hour trades with like a 20 or 30% win rate, but popping off absolute bangers. And the further I got into trading, the more I realized that I didn't want to be stressed like that, right? So I learned to trade higher time frames. Now I still do that. But I found that trading daily time frames, H4, H1 is just much more what makes me feel comfortable and not as stressed. After Perma Bear, that guy, he was a shady guy, so I didn't really like to associate myself with him. So after that, I moved on and I had a different Discord called Strive. Some of the members of that Discord are in Chroma today, like a lot more than you might realize, actually. And a lot of those guys went on to be a part of CRG after I left that with Osbra, and they just keep coming back for more. So after CRG and being busy all the time in my real life situations that I had going on in 2025, landing in Chroma was just such a blessing, and I'm just pleasured. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm honored. That's all for me.
We're excited to have you here with us, and yeah, apparently you're from the same kind of the same class as most of the guys in here. Purdue, are you part of the COVID class, or did you start trading earlier than that?
Yeah, I'm also part of the COVID. No, a little bit earlier, I guess. I sold my company to my brother back then, and I had some money to trade with, and I learned most of my trading from a guy in California. He lived in Amsterdam for quite a while, and I was looking for some opportunities to get some more money and get my money to work. So hence I learned it from him, and that's how I bought some spot and went into the, I think, what is it, mid 2019 or so. Survived the COVID crash, bought some more, and then during COVID everything went up only, and then like the rookie mistake, lost most of it again, and then actually learned trading. So yeah, I think we all walked the same path, kind of in that way. And then I thought in 2021 that I really wanted to learn how to recharge. Same with Follis, went from GAN fans to harmonics to ICT concepts, and then eventually, yeah, combined a few of these indicators, and that's how my system has been for the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. And how did you become more interested into the fundamental aspect of crypto rather than technical analysis? Because I know you mentioned like indicators and ICT. When did that passion for researching projects come to life?
Yeah, I think especially if the market has some momentum, it's so interesting to see fundamental analysis and technical analysis align, because a chart can look good, but if you know how the what the fundamentals side looks from a project, yeah, and if you know where the momentum is, I think that's what really interested me, and that's how I'm, yeah, spending most of my time finding new projects that actually have some working product down the line. So yeah, that's what made me interested in the fundamental side of things. Yeah.
Yeah, that it is really interesting. Not my cup of tea, but I'm glad that you are part of the team and giving us insights into those areas of trading which shouldn't be undermined. Moving on to
Yeah, it's
someone
all
that I know
short-lived,
is not. Yeah,
yeah, still.
yeah,
If you
you're
find the
right.
rotations on time, then it's the future of funds for 2 weeks, and then it dies off again. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Especially this cycle has been
Yeah.
different, difficult to say the least in terms of that, which is maybe the main reason for why I moved to trading Bitcoin only. I don't hate altcoins by any means. Sorry if that was the impression that I presented to some guys. I just like things that give me a sense of security. And in altcoins, it's really hard to get something like that right now, which is why I moved on to trade indices for a few months this year and look a little bit more at macro and how all the news in the US are shaping the price action. So I'm really happy that Osbra is here with us because he has been a blessing in terms of educating all of us about macro. And I already know how he started trading because he has told me multiple times. But why don't you tell the audience once again, how did you get to trade crypto?
Yeah, sure. So basically, you guys know I've been working at the bank for quite a while, for a few years, and I learned to listen to my customers, and I definitely knew that I wouldn't make loads of money just enjoying my 9 to 5, if I can say it like that. So as far as I can say, I discovered crypto in 2013 when I was in high school. As I said multiple times, because my uncle was a miner, was mining Bitcoin back then. So this is how I heard about it the first time. And then when I started to work and get a bit of money, that was when Bitcoin started to surge in terms of prices, and people started to talk about it. At least at the bank, people started to be like, "Oh, did you see that thing, Bitcoin, etc." And I was like, hey, I heard about this, but it was definitely not at this price back then. And so I started to get interested. I was investing in stocks, ETF, etc. Then I started to be um, interested into Bitcoin. I have my first receipt in 2015 when I bought my first Bitcoins until COVID. Basically, I was just investing, no trading. And then when COVID started, I had friends starting to talk about trading. First, they got interested into crypto, but they started to talk about more and more about trading and especially leverage trading. Initially, I was against it because I knew the dangers. I knew it was like the perfect way to make people like average people, retail people lose money super fast and like a lot of money. And of course, we all know how it works. We all got liquidated once at least or a couple times in our trading journey. And now imagine that this is replicated to like millions and millions of people. But yeah, I guess with boredom, I started to trade because investing was super slow. And when you have nothing else to do and you're stuck at home, you're trying to look at different things, and playing video games doesn't make keep you busy for like days and days and months, uh, even like more than a year because the lockdown lasted quite a long time. So yeah, I started to trade, and it was completely different game but investing. It was easy to make money investing. Basically, you just buy when you have a crash. You just buy regularly, and slowly it grows. But trading is a completely different game. So I got wrecked first. Then I was like, yeah, still, even though I got wrecked, I like it. And also I'm a lone wolf, so it was the perfect way to make money without relying on people, without getting orders or instructions or whatever. It was just like Ruth said before, me and myself, and that's it. And that was perfect. So yeah, I got more into it, and I wanted to dig because I always been into macro fundamentals and stuff, but technical analysis was the thing that I was lacking. Crazy picture in the chat. Damn, things are getting spicy. So yeah, I got into trading like that, and I kept like learning. And after a few years of experience, I decided I wanted to share it. I got a community. Yeah, I got wrecked, but I liked it. I mean, I like trading. And yeah, I started a free community to grow a free community to connect with people online. And then that community got transformed into CRG. And then the rest of the story, you know about it. So yeah, basically, this is how it started and how I got there.
Yeah, that was a nice and long story. Yeah, obviously starting out 12 years ago, it's been a long road for you, and I'm happy that
Yeah.
the road led you to where you are right now. Just looking at the chat, we have a question from David. I'm gonna read it out loud, and who feels ready to answer, please just do so. From our experience and trading journey, what is the best piece of advice that we can give to beginners in terms of learning TA with those loads of educational content and different trading styles, because it's overwhelming and sometimes confusing to absorb all this kind of stuff. My quick answer to that would be just try to absorb everything and then try out everything and see what you like using. And most importantly, I think that's the, let's say, the hidden advice, what fits you psychologically. Because for example, I tried to swing trade for like 3 or 4 months at the beginning, and then it just wasn't fitting for me because I like fast-paced things in life, and I was really getting bored with swing trading. So that's when I decided to try scalping, and has been much more enjoyable for me. So that's my advice. Find the things that you enjoy after trying out multiple things. Other advice
Yeah.
for our students?
That was something I could have said definitely. You can try a lot of stuff, but stick to what you like to use. Also, what makes you comfortable with, and yeah, just stick to it. But I would also add, try to keep things simple, because trying to make things complicated for absolutely no reason is not gonna make you get more money. So keep things as simple as you can, and it will just work. It will just work. You don't need fancy stuff, over complicated stuff, etc. So yeah, just like Vic said, what you enjoy and keep things simple.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Can I add something? Because of course I'm
Yes.
also not an analyst at all. But what worked for me is David, is looking at charts, and I think Paulus can reply that he watched hours and hours and hours of trading view charts before even starting to trade. Look at the charts, try to see if you understand the direction, the price action, what the trader is doing, you're trying to follow. um, do paper trades, which basically are just trades without money, and try to do that so until it clicks in your head and that you start to see things yourself. And I think for me it started clicking a few months ago, but last week was a really good example that Bitcoin was in this range, 85k, 90 to 80k for a. Of course, it was there before. Back then, I drew lines. I started looking at I think which are now just logical support and resistance zones. But back then, I just drew lines, and now around those lines, I focus and do my trades, and it clicks, it works. And if I then apply the stuff that I've learned in the meantime, like with FIBs and fair value gaps and imbalances and all that stuff that I've learned and picked up over the course of the years, it starts to make sense in my head, and puzzle pieces start to fall into place.
Yeah, that's really good advice, and I like your perspective as a non-analyst and like speaking from the experience of someone who is trying to learn and has obviously gotten better at. And I deliberately left you last because I wanted to ask how you started crypto, because it will be maybe a different journey than to most
Oh,
of
for
us.
sure.
Because yeah, I'm really curious to hear about that, because obviously you have a family, you have kids, you're 100 years old. How does someone like you get
I'm
into
Belgian,
crypto?
yeah. Yeah, I think when I first started, I was trading on Gate.io with of course leverage and everything. That position size was irrelevant to me. I just wanted to make a quick buck. I was in it for the tech. I think I saw Bitcoin at 1,000 bucks, but then I didn't really spend a lot of attention to it. So I think it was 2016, 2017, that area. And I really started losing money when I was buying Axie Infinity, which was at back then at I think 110 bucks. So basically that was already the top. And then I started buying, and yeah, we all know where that coin went.
Yeah.
And but back then it was a lot about people saying, "Oh, this and this coin is coming out," and you really had to look up the ICO, the initial coin offering, and the PDF, and you had to really read through the documentation. And there were like red flags if there wasn't documentation available and stuff like that. And these days, that isn't even there anymore. You have memes popping up all over the place, Trump launching coins, right? So I think trading when and I had a really good alt season in, I think it was, yeah, January, February, around one of those years. It's been so long, and I'm also getting old as fuck, so I forget stuff. But and I think I am at a more or less the same point as where Rouge was. I think I'm down 50k down the hole, but it was all money that I earned myself in one of my previous companies. And the moment I invested it, I knew it was gone. So basically, I'm just it's very expensive learning money, so to say. But I'm the WACME, we're all gonna make it. It's been taking like 15 years for me, so I hope I get to a point where I finally start earning some of that money back before I really say I'm like making money. Right now, I'm
Mhm.
still in the red, making stuff back, and yeah, the opportunity that Chroma gave me is of course huge, and that it helps a lot.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that, which is something that I think I've said at least 20 times today, but I'm happy to hear that. So I don't want to drag this on for too long. So my last question for all the panelists, we're gonna go round the table again, is something cliche, but please just tell me three goals that you have for 2026. And I'm gonna start just to give everyone an idea. My biggest goal for next year is to take care more of my health, which means not going to sleep at 7 a.m., not sitting in a chair for 15 hours a day, going to the gym, stop being addicted to nicotine. So that's something that I really want to do next year, because health is one of the most important things. It's something that money can buy. It doesn't matter if you make 10 million in trading if you get very sick and ill doing that. So that's what the number one priority for me next year. Number two would obviously be become better at trading, and part of that is digging deep into order flow, because that's something that I think that would really help my scalping strategies. And last but not least, something that I've been already working on this year, I've put maybe 100 hours in the last week into it, is creating some functional trading strategies, automatic trading strategies that I can just leave running onto a remote server and basically get some passive income from that. So those are my three goals for next year. So who wants to speak first about their goals? Who thinks that I have some interesting goals, not just take care of my health, become a better trader? Because I think everyone has that on their list.
Those were literally your two
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what I wanted to say. I'm boring, and I hope that you guys are not.
Yeah, I can quick jump in if you want. Yeah, so I mean, ultimately for me, with 2026, like I had mentioned earlier, big things in terms of the server and stuff, right, is maybe do some more streams, try to be a bit more active in the evenings because I will be around for Asia now. And then ultimately, I think just personal goals, like I'm gonna keep saving and stuff. I got a wedding to pay for in 2 years or like a year and a half, whenever my fiance comes back and we get everything mapped out. But um, yeah, just that, making sure I'm spending more time for friends and family because we're all super busy people at the end of the day, and human connection is important. And I really appreciate those relationships that I have. And then the third one would, I guess, be enjoy the time that I'm not doing things more. Really allow myself to have fun playing video games or doing cards or whatever else I do for activities. Oh, I had it on before. My laptop was dying and I had to go put it in the charger by the wall. It's too short. But yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Purdy, what about your goals for 2026?
Work more efficiently, so a bit less screen time, in my opinion. That's especially in the weekends. Find new energy in my private life. That would be a good goal.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, I think work related. I'm in a good place, and I don't want to actually change anything about it. I think we're on the right track here, and we're doing everything we can to make Chroma thrive. So I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, work more efficiently. Like don't not having like 10 hours of screen time a day, because I've been doing that for 5 or 6 years, and like pushing out trades within like you or John Z, like within 2 hours a day. That will be something nice. But I'm still like a geek for fundamental analysis, so I will definitely keep on researching projects, but work more efficiently. And I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it in the first quarter of the new year. Like
Yeah,
being
the
more
first
efficient.
step is identifying the issue and wanting to work towards it, even though you might not have an idea right now of exactly how to do it. But totally agree with your goals. And like I said, I think it's something that everyone should strive for. I don't want to be sitting on a chair in front of a screen for 12 hours a day every single day.
Yeah, and
It's
I
important.
think it's for the better as well. Like
Yeah,
sometimes having less screen time is better for you and better for your prestige, or better for your yeah, how you say it, like for your
totally agree.
for your trading
Mr.
habits.
Mr. Osbra, what do you think about 2026? How good will it be and why? What are your
I think
goals?
it's going to be, yeah, I think it's going to be really good. on both personal side and work side. I mean, like Chroma is a big part of the professional side, and I'm really confident. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. So my goal regarding Chroma is obviously to keep pushing forward and to help the group to thrive as much as we can. On the personal side, then yeah, I would sum up with just being happy, and it means being surrounded by good people, um, and also trying to be a bit more physically active, to get back in shape, back into the gym more regularly, more frequently, spend more quality time with the people that I love. So yeah, that would be summed up with being happy, I would say. And on the professional side, I would like to, yeah, find, I don't know if I can say more efficient way, just like Purdy said, but I would like to find ways to keep the income that I have, for example, but without having to stay awake super late, to spend all my time on the screen, to be glued to my phone when I'm outside, to be stressed about it, etc. So yeah, I would say the goal would be to find um, better ways to do the job, um, and grow a
Work
mustache.
less, win more, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Of course, I'm thinking about real estate this year. It's something that I would like to do as well towards the end of the year. So it's also part of starting to build something. So yeah, hopefully 2026 will be the year when I start to build such stuff. And now the mustache, unfortunately, it's not gonna work. Not gonna work. I can try, but the
You
last time I
started that
tried,
mustache. That was your goal for 2025. You've been growing it for 12 months.
yeah, and look the result.
Yeah.
Look at the result. No, I
Yeah.
tried. I will show you. I tried once, and it just got me being called Mexicano. So not gonna try again.
Yeah, and
Nothing against Mexicans.
maybe yeah, maybe getting better at League of Legends should also be on your 2026
I'm
goal.
old.
But I'm gonna yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you with that. Don't worry. Um, Luke, you already mentioned this in your
Luke is
last.
gone.
Oh, Luke is gone. Then Tim, what are your goals for 2026?
My goals are very simple this year because in 2025 I achieved a lot of the goals that I had set for myself. So I don't want to be repetitive and say those again. I'm being very efficient as far as those are concerned. One thing that I could do better though is I think that I could definitely get my sleep on track. I think that's important for your mental health. And your mental health is above all when it comes to being a trader. So I think that's one thing that I really need to get in a little bit tighter. I think we all have a problem like looking at the charts a little bit too much when you're laying in the bed, or not setting our phones aside and just hanging with the boys in the chat a little, an extra hour or something, and the night just kind of wastes away on you without you realizing it. I kind of want to get that in check just a little bit. And also I would like to work on my communication a little bit in all aspects of my life, personal life and here in Chroma. I think that I could definitely be a greater communicator, and that just means like explaining charts and thoughts that I'm having with the market a little better, responding to things that I see you guys posting in chat sometimes. Uh, all around, just you know, really putting it out there, my thoughts and feelings. I think that that's important to do also. And that's really it for me. I don't think there's anything else that I really, really want to make too much better. I've been great this year with all my goals, and I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing outside of that.
Yeah, well, if you achieve your goals for this year, there is nothing stopping you from doing the same thing next year. So I hope that when we do this the next year, you're gonna be able to tell me that you're going to sleep at 9 p.m. every single day and waking up at 6 a.m. every single day, if that's what you want. Access, what are you aiming to do in 2026 apart from releasing that beautiful new mentorship website, which we will hopefully launch at the beginning of January?
Yeah, so this year I went to France on holiday. The year before I went backpacking with my wife and kids in Thailand. And when we asked them this year, what do you like more? Do you like more the adventurous part, or do you like to stay on a camping with a pool and then basically do nothing at all? They all said that they liked the adventurous part way more. So next year we're going to Vietnam with also again with backpacks and probably 3 weeks. So that's my target for next year. Take the wife and kids to Vietnam, rice fields, biking, etc. The entire, and not something that is planned, as in not like pre-orchestrated, like you can book from a travel brochure. No, completely do it, plan your own holiday, pick up your own spots, and do it your way instead of having to be forced at like 10 a.m. in the morning. Hey, we have to go to the bus because we have to go to the next hotel. No, screw that. If we want to stay a day longer, then we should be able to stay a day longer at a certain place. And I
Yeah,
already know
that
that
sounds
Follows is going.
awesome.
And I also already know that Follows is going to be scared shit when I leave for 3 weeks on holiday.
Me
Yeah, I
too.
don't remember you clearing this with me. I'm thinking about restricting your travel.
The small print, yeah, travel ban.
Yeah, no PTO in Chroma. Um, yeah, that's something really nice to look forward to. I'm also looking forward to traveling a lot in 2026, but I need to buy a new laptop so I can be online even when I'm traveling, if I plan to travel a lot. And that brings me to the last person that I want to hear about their 2026 goals and give us some ending words of wisdom, Follis.
Yeah, I was wondering. So, I don't do New Year's resolution, and I don't do like yearly goals. I think that's very arbitrary, and I don't like dividing my objectives. I'm not one of these people who you know, once January rolls around, I'm all motivated and I start going to the gym and I start, taking care of my diet. No, no, no. If you have a goal and you want to start working towards it, start today. Don't wait until an arbitrary date that everyone else is starting their goals. So I don't do that stuff, but I do have objectives that I'm working towards at the moment. The biggest one, and probably the most pertinent one to this call is who's giving me kickback there?
It's Tim.
Is that Tim?
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, new year, new me. Exactly, Hasbara. So the biggest one at the moment is the educational the new trading syllabus, right? So like I mean I've spoken about this already, but just allow me an extra 30 seconds to kind of to really shill it. We have been working on this thing fairly nonstop for the last like 6-7 weeks. We're probably not, I mean, we're just coming on to about halfway through it now, I would say, or not even. I mean, there's still a ton of editing, drafting, copywriting, reviewing, graphic design, final review. There's so much that goes into it. But we've have like 2 modules basically completely finished out of 12. Another maybe 6 modules that are kind of halfway done, right? And that's just the core modules. We have 12 core modules covering various aspects of trading, from the very fundamental foundational stuff to more advanced topics, price action, order flow, some other stuff as well. And then we also have, those are the core modules. We also have supplementary modules, and that includes things like macro, which Osbra is hopefully going to be working on. We have a DeFi module that Jedi and Monk have been working on. And we have some other kind of supplementary modules that are going to feed into the core modules. And then we also have the alpha channels, which you've already seen are undergoing and have undergone a revamp. So my hope is that by sometime towards the end of Q1, we will have all of that ready to launch. And that's kind of what my goal has been and what I've been working towards over the last couple of months, I guess. It's been a long time coming, but that's the big goal for Chroma in the new year, the immediate goal. After that, of course, it's not a case of just sitting on your laurels and admiring your work. We have big plans for after that. One of the things that we've been really, and Purdue can maybe talk about this some more, maybe not on this call, but in the new year, we've been really working on like fine tuning the trading team, right? And I think that something that hopefully you guys will all have seen is, we've been working on optimizing the tracker. We've been working on increasing the transparency of the results that we share at the end of each month, right? We've been introducing more stricter minimum standards for all the traders, and that goes for win rate and performance. And I think that, it's funny when you introduce these things, there's a worry that people will feel the pressure and they won't perform. But in fact, it's been the exact opposite. The last 2 months, despite the absolutely terrible trading conditions, the last 2 months have been arguably two of our best. Not the best in terms of raw performance, but in terms of kind of resilience and performing comparative to the market. I think it's been two of our best of the entire year. There's some guys really stepping up, some guys killing it. And, and as we continue to fine tune and optimize the tracker and continue to fine tune and optimize the trading team, I think that's only going to get better. And let's say, the service that we provide on the trading side of things is going to improve. So, I mean, those are the Chroma is always this kind of bipartite service, right? It's like we have the educational side, right? The tutorials, the mentorship, the classes, the trading questions, the content, the live streams. And then we have the trading side, which is the setups, the ideas, the charts, the analysis, right? The trades, the calls, the signals, whatever the fuck you want to call them, even though that's kind of going further and further away from the core. And the idea is that by blending both of those two, you can offer this incredible service that is above and beyond what people expect for $150 a month, or even less if you're paying for a longer membership. So those are the two aspects of Chroma that I want to absolutely fucking blast in 2026. At the moment, I'm working tirelessly on the educational side, right? After we did a lot of work on the training side this year, but once the educational side is fucking locked, which will hopefully be at the end of Q1, then it's back to the attention on the trading side, and we continue to optimize that. So I think that's basically it for me. Chroma is a bipartite service. It always has been, it always will be, and that's kind of, well, I say it always will be. I mean, even now as we speak, we're talking about expanding the ecosystem. And I guess that's the last thing I will say is that, at the moment, Chroma is, we're a trading community. We're based entirely in Discord, but we're already in talks about expanding that offering and maybe going to, exploring different things, whether that's, I don't know, VC and investment stuff. Maybe it's even, looking at what, I don't know, maybe launching our own tech could be, working with guys who are launching platforms, or even stuff like, trading software, things of that nature. I mean, it's a beautiful thing when the sky's the limit, and it's kind of the where your imagination can take you is the only delimiting factor. So, I mean, we're looking at a bunch of stuff like that, but the immediate concern for, let's say, the first half of next year is what I said before, really lock down the educational side and then continue to optimize the trading side. And I think if we can do that, then we'll be in a good stead for 2026.
Yeah, it's hard not to be excited about the future of Chroma, seeing you explain so passionately about not only the new educational section, but also improving the quality of the side of the server that is concerned with sharing trades, and then all the other possibilities that we have. And I can't even imagine where Chroma will be at the end of next year, but I'm sure it's gonna be in a fantastic place. Any final words from any of the panelists that I had the pleasure of hosting today?
Before, if someone wants to finish, I don't mind. But before that, I'm just going to jump in and say, completely separate from all the things that we're working towards and all the things of that nature. I just want to say, Merry Christmas to everyone on this call. Merry Christmas to the entire team. Merry Christmas to the membership. And Happy New Year. It has been a challenging year for many. I think a lot of guys will say with their hands on their hearts that they have been disappointed by the market in 2025. Maybe it didn't give the returns that you wanted. Maybe altcoins didn't give the upside that you had hoped for in the beginning of the year. That's totally okay. That's completely fine. It's normal to feel a little bit disheartened. It's normal to feel maybe a little bit disappointed. That's completely fine. But someone said in the chat, as Bear said in the chat, "New year, new me." And it's kind of funny sometimes like it does kind of take that new leaf approach, right? Draw a line under it. Take a break over Christmas, right? We have what 1.5 weeks until the new year now. Just draw a line under it. Take the next few days, switch off, close the charts, turn your brain off, refresh, and come back January 2nd, January 3rd, whenever you come back to your desk with a fresh mind, with a new attitude, ready to fucking kill it. Because that's the fucking beauty of crypto, boys, right? You know, it's easy to goof on crypto when we're looking at commodities and stocks putting in new all-time highs. But I mean, it just takes one little thing, it just takes one little catalyst. We've seen it time and time again, previous cycles, right? One catalyst, and this becomes once again the greatest market in the world, the most exciting market in the world, the most volatile market in the world, with the most asymmetric upside in the world. So it really just, you know, stick around, boys. I've been saying in my channel for the last number of weeks, the guys who stick around, the guys who keep turning up every day, the guys who keep clicking are the guys who will be rewarded when the market turns, not the guys who come flooding back only once the market conditions get better. They'll already be late. They'll already be late because they'll have been front ran by the guys who are still here, still clicking, still showing up every day. Right? At the end of the day, this is a marathon, not a sprint. I think anyone who sticks around for the good times will be rewarded. But yeah, it's you know, it's been a challenging year for many. Don't let that dishearten you if you're in that bracket. Just fucking chin up, get back up again, and yeah, face the new year with a fresh mind and a fresh attitude.
That was an amazing message, amazing advice, and I don't think anyone can top that. But if anyone else from the team has anything else to say, um, I invite him to do so. Okay, if no one has anything else, because yeah, it's hard to speak after Foldis delivered such a great motivational speech. I want to thank everyone, first of all, in the audience for being here. I hope you had an amazing time. I didn't even realize that almost 2 hours have passed since we started. That I had such an amazing time with my team colleagues, and I'm really grateful for the year that I had in Chroma. I'm really happy with the progress that Chroma has made overall. And like I already said, I am really excited for next year. I'm sure that we'll do even more progress on personal levels and as a server as a whole. So I want to thank everyone again and wish you all Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or just some nice few days if you're not celebrating Christmas. And again, thank you so much for being here and have a great rest of the day.